podcast.
Yeah! Does that sound convincing?
He likes it. I love it. It's
Yeah,
fun.
it's
He was
okay.
talking so much shit before we started. You should have heard the things he
What?
said.
No.
You were saying racist shit too.
Yeah.
Beaters.
Well, I just think the black guy on the show is not as good and should be exterminated with the rest of his race.
Dude.
What's racist about that?
You're a silly Billy. Anyway, get your hands out of my shot.
Okay.
Anyway,
Oh, my bad. Hey.
welcome back.
Yes. Before we
Beaters.
get to
Thank you
this
for coming back.
Before we get to this week's movie.
Oh, the reason they're here.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. Hilarious that you're here for this. It's like, wow. You know what I'm saying? But that's you, and that's why I love you. But before we talk about the reason you're here, the movie that Hassan never saw, let's talk about the other movie Hassan never saw, because of course he never saw it. Some movies on this podcast, like Men in Black, you're like, you get mad. I get it. I get mad. I'm like, yo, well, it's upsetting. And in some movies like Juice, I would be upset if he saw it. So,
Yeah.
Hassan, you finally saw the
watched
Tupac
Juice.
cult classic.
Yes.
How do you feel, buddy?
I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed
It
it?
was a good movie. It was a horror movie.
Wow.
As we said on the podcast, it was a horror movie. It was a horror
Tupac is
movie.
fucking the clown from it. Man. He might as well be the clown from it.
Yeah, it's like it's like demons and shit for like white people, but it's just an
Yes.
actual person.
Yeah, well, that's demons for black people.
Yeah. I was gonna say, white people, you have to like make up this crazy clown that.
There's a clown ghost.
Yeah.
And he has a balloon
Yeah.
that blows in the. Yeah.
And he's from another dimension.
You know who
And
black people are scared of? A guy
guy
named
down the block?
George Zimmerman.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Real guy.
a guy that you can see.
A guy you can see your
Yeah,
name
yeah,
on
a guy you
his
can see
ID
and
and family.
touch.
What's second grade?
One who was like a friend with you.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Everybody, when you're black,
Yeah.
everybody that you know is going to kill you. You know what I
Tupac
mean?
is tripping in this movie.
Yeah.
He is tripping. He's not as tough as he likes to think he is.
I don't know. I think when you actually murder people, you know what? You might be tough.
Okay.
Yeah. Not that you're not. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm not but I feel you. I feel you. He's a bitch. You're a bitch ass nigga.
Yeah, you
but
know what I mean?
Wow. Wow. I'm scared. I'm scared of you. I'm gonna tell you that.
I guess he's scary.
Scary's not tough.
Yeah, but he's not like tough because he doesn't tough would be like if he made those decisions and he was like clear-headed. And he was like, all right, this is what I do, and this is more business.
That's even scary.
That's
well,
scary.
who is that guy?
Okay, well, you know what I mean? But I don't know, it's just like all his decisions are made out of like fear. And that's not a tough guy thing.
Well, I think it goes from fear to rage. It turns.
Yeah.
I feel like it turns.
He's like mad at the world.
Yeah, it goes from fear to my dad got butt raped so much in prison. I have to
That I
take
want
it
to
out
die
on
by
everybody.
cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He dies by
So maybe
falling off a building, which is the most horror movie thing ever.
Yeah. I will say this. Now let's say that part out loud. I was like, all right, so maybe there's some issues in character development. I will say that. The whole time I was like, okay, like if we're going to do this, give him a little more of a backstory. They should have played more into the horror movie aspect in the front. If I were to like improve this movie.
Well, the beginning of the movies. That's why I like. I like that it's
coming of
not.
age.
Yeah, I like because it's a. I've never seen a movie like this.
There's no. I was just thinking that. I've never seen a movie that's like made that like crazy of a turn in the middle. Except Titanic.
But we knew that one was coming.
Yeah.
Juice, you don't know it's coming.
Yeah, you don't know it's coming. There's no famous story about some guy shooting 3 people.
His best friends.
yeah.
His best friends.
His best friend's in New York.
Since he was a child.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on, dude?
Oh yeah, a lot of weird things happening. He was a good actor.
Oh man, I believe him. That's what I guess the whole point of this movie. Because you know what else? Omar Epps is also good. Omar Epps is a great actor. I was watching another Omar Epps movie the other day, in my hotel room, and I was like, man, he's a great actor too. He is great. But Tupac was phenomenal in this movie.
He was yeah.
He was phenomenal.
I think if he had the time to stick with it, he could be a great actor.
What do you mean if you had the time to stick with it? What do you mean?
What do you think I mean?
I don't know. I'm asking you. What do you mean? Because I don't know what you mean.
Okay. Why do you think Tupac, let's say, was in no movies after say 94ish, 96ish? I don't know. You know that time.
Focus on his music career.
Yeah, and how did that go? Well, he's still releasing new music, so I
Yeah,
guess.
what you mean? How it goes? It's going great. New album drops next week.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I guess if that's your only lane into Tupac, Like he only see the world through music sales. Yeah, you'd be like, man, he's alive and well. I guess he's falling off now, but
well, he doesn't sell. I mean, come on, dude. He's 50.
yeah. Well,
He's
I
50.
mean, technically, he did play Coachella recently.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah, like he didn't get paid for it. He's killing it. Yeah, they had to pay him for that. Somebody had to pay for Tupac's likeness for that.
Yeah, his
Or-
estate. Someone in his family got money,
Or,
or they just did that shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or even worse, someone else like Sony owns Tupac. And it's like, well, that's life.
Oh my god, that's totally what happens. Oh my god, yeah.
They're like they own his face.
Oh god, that's
His mom's like, that's my baby. They took him when he was 22 or 26.
oh god, that's so gross.
Yeah. What an actor.
Yeah,
But you're absolutely right. I agree. If Tupac,
yeah. It was
I don't think, and I'm not talking about like some CSI Florida Tupac starring Tupac. No, I'm talking about. I think Homeboy might have acted.
Yeah, maybe it was there, or he could have easily also. He could have easily been the CSI Tupac. He was like, he's young. It depends on which way you're.
I don't know
career
because
goes.
the other movies he's in as well. I'm not gonna say because we're gonna do them. He is also phenomenal. That's why I'm like, no, man. I think he wasn't like LL Cool J, where it was like, oh no, he was cool in a movie or two.
Okay.
No, like you saw this movie. He was the lead, and he was scared. Like that's
He was scary.
also
scary.
he no, I'm saying he carried the movie.
Yeah.
He put the movie on his shoulders. That's not an easy task. Homeboy, and he's done it for like 3 other movies.
Okay.
So that's why I'm like, you gotta say, like, Homeboy clearly wasn't just. I don't think he was gonna be some CSI cop. I'm not saying he was gonna go be the greatest actor of all time, but I'm saying Homeboy might have been a movie star.
Like he could have been in some like.
I mean, he was a movie star, but he might have been like an actual like. I mean, or the nigga would have went on into motherfucking Jared Leto it as well. I could I see that way more than I see that. Like he's leaning way more that way than the LL Cool J.
Oh
my God, yeah.
Yeah, you don't think Tupac releases a song called "Accidental Racist"? If you guys have never looked up that song,
You know what? I do think this. I believe this. Tupac stays alive. He drops monster albums through the rest of the 90s. In the early 2000s, he wins like an Oscar. And then he just acts.
Ooh.
He just acts.
Ooh.
He's an older man. He just acts. And people look back at his music career like how people look at Eddie Murphy's comedy career. Like we're like, man, that was perfect. Blah blah blah. He left no blemishes. That's my vision of what would happen to Tupac. He doesn't even do music anymore. So people who say he's the greatest rapper of all time, clearly he wasn't. He didn't do music much after the 90s, like you said. I don't even know what happened.
That's true. He doesn't. The part that made me laugh the most was when he meets the fat guy before he shoots him. When he just like the fat guy's coming home and he just comes out of the stairwell.
Yeah, he
and I
scares
was
him.
like, what was interesting about this movie, and I noticed this a lot about 90s movies, is that they have shots that age really well. And they have shots that look so fucking 90s, bro.
Yeah.
And that was one of them.
Oh yeah, a guy popping out of a motherfucking.
Yeah, stairwell. That's like completely. And the end when the entire party is just on the rooftop, like watching him in like there's like this orderly box.
Oh my god.
Like, yeah, that's the 90s.
it's almost as 90s as the intro. How long the intro is?
Yeah. Oh my god. It was not. It was long. It was long. But like going back to my previous point, it was like there were some shots, like the shots of him in the DJ booth and like those were really good.
I love those. Yeah.
So it's interesting in like those movies to see like shots that are like.
I like the shot of him closing his locker and Tupac sitting right
That's
there.
a good
That's
one.
a great
That's
shot.
the first. That's like a jump scare.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
an
first-
actual like, man, this dude, and then that's where he says the line of like, I don't give a fuck about myself, and you're like, that's where the movie, because the movie clearly changes tones already. It's changed tones completely. But when he says that line, it's like, what am I watching? What am I watching right now? Dude, I remember being a kid and seeing this dude and being so fucking scared, terrified in my room. It's a horror. You're right. It's such
It's
a
a
scary
horror movie. It's legitimately a horror movie. The pacing, everything is a horror movie.
It's good. I'm glad you liked it. Very,
Yeah,
he
it's a
doesn't
horror
always like the movies when he watches them.
No, a lot of the time I don't.
He likes me telling them.
Most
And
of the
he
time,
watches them, he's like, that is not what you said.
yeah. Most of the time I like Derek's version better.
But this one's a good movie, you say.
Yeah. Well, that's because the real movie doesn't interact with me. But if I'm being real, like me and Tupac didn't laugh about how ridiculous it was. He just jumped out of the shadows, and I wanted someone to share that with at that moment.
Yeah. How funny is it when he falls off that building at the end, though?
Don't drop me, man. Don't drop me. I was like, dude, fucking, it's time to drop him. Hey, bro.
Hey, Omar, I don't know much.
Yeah, but
You gotta
what do you
drop
think?
this
What do you
guy.
think? He's gonna come back up and not try to kill you again? It's time to drop.
You know what sucks, though? Ain't no way. They're all going to prison. They're all going to prison.
Yeah. Well, they were part of the robbery.
The robbery. That's what I'm saying. They're all going to prison regardless.
Yeah.
And then, they're fucked. Dude, because the clerk got murdered.
Yeah, Clark got murdered.
I never thought about that.
Clark got murdered.
Oh, they're all like in
They're all
prison
going
for like
down.
down, like hardcore.
They're all going down.
like fucked.
Damn.
And then the Raheem died, and then the Tupac character died. So they're gonna just
Yeah.
pin the murders on everybody, on the Sam, on both of those two.
Well, the
that
other
are
two
alive.
survived. The fat guy lives.
That's what I'm saying, but both of them are going to like no way those two hood niggas ain't getting those murders.
Yeah,
pinned
well,
on them.
yeah. It's I don't think the justice system is gonna be like, well, let's listen to what these two black kids have to
To
say.
say, hold on,
Yeah.
deputy, hold on,
Yeah.
get your stick out of his eyeball. Say it again, son.
Yeah.
What happened? Tupac did it. The rapper.
Well, you're the one I choose to believe. It's not.
Oh yeah, those kids are fucked for the rest of their lives for sure, and that's definitely
That's a
juice.
black horror movie. It's
Yeah,
a black horror movie.
black horror movie.
It just ends in. It still ends bad. At least in the white horror movies, you like most of you get away from the ghost.
I love how the last line is, "You got the juice now."
Yeah,
I don't think he
didn't
does.
do that.
I think he's got prison on his motherfucking head. I think he's got butt rape. I think he's got butt rape on. Yo, you got the butt rape now. That's what he should have. He said, hey, yo, you got the butt rape now, dog. And then it freeze frame.
And that's juice.
What up?
Beaners, this is your intermission right now.
Before we get into the episode you are here for, really quick, thank you for listening. We
Yes,
love you.
We do. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. Rate and review this podcast on iTunes.
Please rate and review. That stuff matters. We could use the help, and we would appreciate it.
Yeah, tell your friends about the podcast. We know you love it.
Tell your friends about the podcast. We know you love it. You keep going back and listening to old episodes. That's
Yeah.
how we know you love it. We appreciate that.
And follow us on Instagram at Spoil the Beans, and then you can find our individual Instagrams. We're linked on everything. Follow
Derek
us from there.
Poston, Sanamad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and shout out to Greg Scamato for making our theme music. If you want some more samples from him or maybe help from him, check out gregcanhelp.com.
Yep.
Yeah. And now back to your future presentation.
You're an idiot.
Hey, wait, what?
Hey, we're back with this dumb fucking guy.
What?
He's the dumbest guy.
What?
He's a dumb guy. And I'm the smart guy, Derek Poston.
I don't
And
like
we're
how this
back.
started.
We're back. Spoil the beans. We're beaners. Everybody's a beaner. Everybody's Mexican who listens to this podcast, and that's awesome. Hassan, how are you?
Feeling good, Holmes.
Beans.
I'm excited.
Excited for the movie that you don't know?
This movie. Yeah, this was a good weekend for me.
What'd you do this weekend?
Well, it was my birthday, so I did nothing.
Oh,
And then it was-
Hassan had a birthday. Baba had a birthday, guys.
27, baby.
27. And he's
then-
gay.
Nope. And then we I just watched football all day with Daddy, Matt Daddy
My
Lockwood.
daddy Lockwood.
It is funny to say I'm not gay and then say I watch football all day with Daddy.
Yeah,
But that's
because you're gay. Because you're a gay man.
it's not.
That's
remotely
awesome,
true.
though, bud. I'm glad you had a good birthday. I'm glad you're 27. You're almost 30.
Yes.
Your dick almost doesn't work, and that's cool.
What?
And
I'll last a little longer than 30.
you won't.
Yes, definitely. I don't use it.
You have
very
any
much.
dates?
Huh? Yeah, we are doing. We're doing Ice House with Brendan Schaub.
Ice
That
House with Brendan Schaub. That
is
is
sold out, I believe.
sold out, and I'm doing Joe Rogan and Friends at the Improv this Tuesday at the Hollywood Improv at 10:30. That'll also probably be sold out unless you're buying tickets literally right now. But you're not, because this isn't going to be out till tomorrow.
Yeah,
So I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Also, but if you do want to come see me on Joe Rogan and Friends, I will be Thursday night. I will be at the Comedy Store with him Thursday night. You do have enough time to get tickets for that. If
Do you?
Oh yeah, they will.
Okay.
That hasn't been like really announced
It
yet.
hasn't been announced yet. Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be announced Tuesday when they post the lineups.
Okay.
So when this drops Monday night, get your tickets for Joe Rogan and Friends, 10:30 Thursday, September 12th at the Comedy Store. Your boy right here will be on that show, and also see us at the Ice House. Oh, that's sold out.
That's sold out. And
Anyway.
then Saturday we'll be
Saturday.
at Bakersfield. Where at, Derek?
I'll be headlining Dangerous Brown featuring the Temblor Brewing Company in Bakersfield. That is at 3200 Bucks Owens Boulevard in Bakersfield. The Temblor Brewing Company. That's an 8 p.m. show Saturday at the Temblor Brewing Company, Bakersfield. Come on out, any Fresno Beaners, any Bakersfield Beaners, anybody in that area who's brown and Mexican and likes this podcast. Come on out.
You can also be white.
No, you can't.
Yes.
And also, Houston, because I'll be getting a lot of DMs about all these Beaners, Spoil the Beans fans, and King of the Sting fans. We love you guys. Representing today. Gang, gang, buzz, buzz.
Yes.
Yes. You guys always ask if me and Dangerous Brown are coming to Houston. Guess what?
September 20th and the 21st.
2
We'll
shows
be there.
Friday, 2 shows Saturday. Dangerous Brown, Medium Brown. We're coming with Big Brown. All right. Also, Denver. Getting your messages too, guys. Thanks for messaging me. I love it. I love all of you, and I respond to all of you. But I'm still going to tell you guys as well, so you don't have to DM me. Because listen to our podcast. That's the most important thing. More important than anything else. Listen to this. September 26, 27, 28, we will be in Denver Comedy Works with Big Brown.
Yeah. Oh, also, just real quick, September 19th, I will be in the Belly Room with Flagrant 2's Akash Singh. He's headlining a show. I will be on that show,
Akash, Flagrant 2. That's a great podcast, guys. Check it out if
so
you haven't.
come out.
Yeah, check Flagrant 2 is great. With Akash, he's very funny.
Yes.
He rolls with Andrew Schultz, who's one of the greatest comedians alive right now. So that's fucking pretty cool, bud.
Yes, it is, and I'm excited.
Awesome, man.
All right.
So fuck yeah, dude.
Oh, also, we'll be at Chatterbox this Sunday. We didn't mention that.
Oh,
In
yeah.
West Covina.
Any West Covina will also be in Chatterbox Sunday. Me headlining, Dangerous Brown featuring. Come on out if we have any West Covina beaners, which we always have one beaner
West
everywhere, which is
Coveners, as
awesome.
we call them.
We call those West Coveners. It's kind of cool that we have at least a beaner everywhere, and I love that. And it makes me so happy now.
Yes,
Everywhere I
so come
go,
out,
there's a
please.
beaner. So come on out, any West Covina beaners we have. Come on
Cobeners.
out. Hassan,
Yes.
remember when we didn't have dates?
Yeah.
You guys have been rocking with us, bro.
Yeah.
You ready to start this movie?
What are we doing?
Oh, you don't know.
No.
You also haven't seen it. Isn't that weird?
No. We've done like 86 of these at this point. If I thought it was weird, then I'm an idiot.
You're a fucking dummy. I said it in the beginning.
No, I'm not. I'm
Full
smart
circle.
because I knew
Hassan
what's
Ahmad.
going on? What's
Can
up?
you tell me what you think happens in the movie you haven't seen? Shape of Water.
All right. All right. Let me see if I can get this. So I once saw a movie theater a way too long trailer for this movie.
Uh-huh.
Like one of those like 3.5 minute trailers.
Oh, I know those trailers.
Yes. So everything will be based off that.
Go for it, buddy.
So we start at there's this secret government. This like happens in like the 50s or 60s or some shit, right? It's a secret government layer or whatever, fuck. Like a building, right?
Layer. Go with layer. I
Layer,
like
okay, layer.
Yeah, cool.
And some Cold War shit. We're like in war with Russia, right? And we're like, it's like we have this like, they have this like weird creature. Like the government captures this weird creature, and they're testing it.
Uh-huh.
And it's cruel. Like the main director guy is like cruel, and he's just like trying to get this creature fish thing guy to do whatever he wants, you know? And
Suck his dick. That's usually what they want. Hey, let me tell you something, buddy.
Yeah.
I know a lot about government. That's usually what they want.
I don't know. Is this fish a child? Then that's exactly what he wants. From it. But if this is a grown fish, no, they're
Probably,
just testing
maybe
out.
not, yeah.
Yeah,
Keep
yeah.
going.
If this was a child fish, I'd be like, oh, this is about a child's fish fuck ring.
Child fish fuckery.
Yeah. And so the people that they have clean it are like deaf. It's like they have this deaf girl, and she cleans the thing because she can't hear. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I think. And then they also have a black girl clean because it's the 50s and they just think all black people are deaf.
Also accurate.
Yeah. And there's a gay guy in this somehow. He probably helps them out. But no, she like starts building a relationship with the fish. The main character, the deaf, starts building a relationship with the fish.
Okay.
And then
Very Free Willy-esque.
Yeah. Except like it turns a little more sexual than Free Willy than I wanted. You know, this probably goes in the direction I wanted Free Willy to go.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro gives there, bro.
Yeah. And then she
You know this one Best Picture, right?
Yes, I do know that. And then it won, what's it called? And then, yeah, she hatches, she sees how cruel the director is to it, and she and her black friend and her gay friend all have this escape plan for this fish thing going on. And then at some point, like, Russia's spying on the thing, so they get wind of so they try to kind of maybe help her escape with the idea of that she'll deliver the thing to the Russians.
Oh.
And so then
I like this plot. Wow. Keep going.
Yeah. And then they escape. And then the American guy is like, we got to kill the thing before the Russians get it. Or we got to capture it or kill it. And the Russians...
Talking about like the bad, whoever the bad American.
The director of the layer. The layer director.
Michael Bay. We'll call him Michael Bay.
Yeah, okay.
You keep saying directors. I'm like,
Okay.
he's like, in my head, he looks like Michael Bay.
Okay, fair. Michael Bay. And then, as she's going to give him to the Russians, she realizes, no, this creature should be free. And they fuck underwater. And then he goes...
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
So she's about to give him to the Russians.
Yeah, and she's like... She feels like something's off.
And then what does she do? Because you go, and then they
just
fuck.
fuck underwater.
You left a major part there.
Yeah, they run away, and it's like a cat and mouse chase. between like the Russians, the Americans, and then those guys.
Uh-huh.
And
And then they fuck in the water.
yeah,
And then what?
and then he swims off.
Oh, and then he's free.
Yeah, he's free.
Beautiful.
Kind of.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Man, your movies. It's weird. This is the weirdest movie of all time.
Yeah.
You out-weirded it. You found a way.
There's no way I weirded this.
Dude, you found a way.
No, dude. No, dude.
You found a way.
This was.
Because your movie wanted to be kid fucking whales and stuff.
No, it did
That's
not
what
want to
you
be
said.
kid fucking whales.
You said Shape of Water. You said Shape of Water. That's
you
your pitch.
put that on me.
Your pitch of Shape
You
of
put that
Water
on me.
was
You're like,
you
oh,
wish
are
it was
they
a kid
fucking kids?
fucking whale.
No,
That's what you said.
I'm just saying if
Play
the,
back the tape.
I'm just saying if the whale.
Can we go to the board?
Look, all I'm saying is that if the whale was a kid, the government will want to fuck it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that's what this movie is about. All right? Don't put those words in my mouth. Don't chatterbox me.
All right, dude, you raped somebody at that place.
I did not.
You want to hear my version of Shape of Water? The version I saw, at least. Actually, the version I saw. I guess it's the real version.
Yeah.
It's pretty damn close.
I liked my version.
Your version had a good plot twist with the whole Russian, with the whole
The Russians, yeah, dude.
with the whole.
Yeah, dude.
The Russians are helping her, and then she turns her back on the Russians.
Yeah.
I like
They're
that.
helping her for nefarious reasons.
Nefarious.
They're playing her. They're playing her. That's how the Russians. That's how government people do.
That's how the Russians. Is that what you're about to say? That's how the Russians do.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, we do that too.
Come on, we do
so,
that.
yeah. That's how governments do.
Khabib.
That's how governments do.
He's
They
Russian.
play people. He is Russian. He's also Muslim. So
Yeah, he's all.
Shout out.
Shout out, Khabib.
Shout out.
Nurmagomedov. He's great,
it's interesting that the two best Muslim athletes are fighters.
right?
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Kicking ass too.
Yeah.
Starts with credits underwater. Oh, I should mention also, this movie's fucking incredible.
Yeah. I'll say this: it's Del Toro.
He doesn't miss.
He's great. He's great.
He's fucking good, dude.
And if Pan's Labyrinth was any indication, this movie's gonna be really good.
Yeah. Usually, I'll say this, man.
Mm-hmm.
The Oscars usually don't miss when they pick a best picture.
Yeah.
I'm not saying every single one is a miss because I didn't like the motherfucking bullshit ass movie Birdman.
Okay.
That was whack. Yeah. But the Oscars usually the best picture is a banger for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yes.
This movie, no exception. Holy fuck, it's artistically perfect. Perfect. Artistically, I'm not even kidding. Flop, 100%. It's like Khabib's wrestling. Khabib. So, starts with credits underwater.
Ooh.
And a soft piano's going.
Ooh.
And it's like French music playing.
Like
you know
romantic music.
what I mean? It sounds like Ratatouille music.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? And you see a little pathway under the water, and you see fish swimming into this pathway. And then you hear that music getting louder. Oh, vava, who's always ooh, wah, wah, wah. You know what I mean? Like all that shit. Yeah.
That was a good fake
Come on, you know what it is.
Oh, yeah,
And then,
I'll accept it.
The door opens, and everything is in the living room, but it's underwater.
Okay.
You know, ooh, wah, wah, wah. You know, the Shape of Water comes up like in the water font. You know that kind of when the font like
the
that.
shimmery.
I love that shit. So that Shape of Water. If I spoke about it, if I did, what would I tell you? I wonder, would I tell you about the time, a long time ago, or tell you about the place? A small city near the coast, but far from everything else. Or, would I just tell you about her? The princess without a voice. Or perhaps warn you about the tale of love and loss and that monster who'd have tried to destroy it all. Fades in. You see a woman floating down the water, right? And she floats onto the couch. And it like slowly fades into like reality. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's just beautiful, dog.
Okay.
Just the way it comes in. That was all voiceover, by the way.
Yeah, I figured.
And it's just
Was it Octavia Spencer?
No,
No.
it's a dude.
Dude, okay.
All right. So you just beautiful, right? And then it's a white woman. She's older. She's like in her maybe 30s, late 30s, 40s. Okay.
Okay.
And she wakes up. Her alarm goes off. She runs a bath for herself. Right. Her place is dope. You know what it looks like, nigga? It looked like You remember V for Vendetta?
Yes.
How cool his place looked?
Yeah.
It looked like that, nigga. Where you're like, damn,
Really?
it's a cool spot. Like, you just got a lot of art and a lot of cool French, like, looking shit, you know?
Okay.
And the way the room is looked, like the wood and like all that. It reminded me of that look.
Okay.
So, she lives above a movie theater, which is also like a legit movie theater.
That's dope.
Amazing, right? It's so like French. Everything about it's just like, damn, that's cool. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And her place is baller though, baller ass place. She like she's like getting ready in the morning, and you see she has 3 little scars on her neck, right? They're like slices, like 3 red slices on her neck, right? She gets in the bathtub. She's naked. You see that ass. Not bad. Very
right.
Portland. Very white girl Portland without the tattoos. You know what I mean? But nice.
Yes, yeah, okay, I get the vibe.
You know what I'm saying?
Skinny.
Skinny. You see some titty. Good titties.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice. Already speaking my language.
Oh, this movie's awesome.
Yeah.
She gets in, she relaxes, she lifts up her legs, and she jerks off.
Oh, nice.
Hey, Guillermo del Toro, what's going on, bro?
What
What's going on?
do you mean? What do you mean? This is a great way to open a movie.
What's going on, dude?
Nothing. Guillermo del Toro is a great director, and
All this artistic shit, and then out of nowhere,
I can't believe you're questioning his choices right now.
I'm not questioning, just
No, you're questioning.
I'm not questioning. Honestly, I'm not questioning the movie. I'm going, hey, Guillermo, what's going on with you?
Yeah, that's literally a question.
To him,
Yeah.
What's going on? How you feeling, buddy? You okay?
Yeah, he's feeling. Dude, he's feeling great.
Oh yeah, I know. I feel good too when I come.
Yeah.
I feel good too when I
Yeah,
come.
and this lady should get to come too. So fuck
Okay.
you, Derek.
Okay. Timer goes off. She comes, right? She gets out of the bathtub. She makes herself a plate of food. She gets like all the way ready. She takes the food next door. There are cats everywhere when she opens the place next door, right? It's her next door neighbor's place, Richard Jenkins, the dad from Step Brothers.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
I'm trying to picture his face. It's been so long since I've seen Step Brothers.
That's what I always think of him as the dad from Step Brothers.
Yeah, all I can think of when I think of Step Brothers, I can picture the mom, and I can
And
picture
I've seen
them
the two.
Yeah.
Yeah. The dad, Richard Jenkins. He's a great actor.
Okay.
You see him, I mean, he's also been in
recognize him.
yeah,
I'll
he's
recognize
like
him.
an astounded
Ah,
actor.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. So his cat's everywhere. His name is Giles. All right? He's painting. He has all these beautiful paintings all over the place, and he's painting, right? And it was him who was doing the voiceover. Like when he starts talking, you realize like, oh, that was his voice.
Okay.
She clearly looks over him. She like brings him food. She's taking care of him, and he talks about like how he'd waste away if he didn't have her. You know
Right.
what I mean? He's an older man. He's really old. He's in his 60s, 70s. And he starts watching old time movies, and he gets her to, before she goes to work, to watch them with her, and they like tap dance a little bit, and like she's loving it. And she goes to work, and in the hallway she tap dances to herself, and it makes her really happy. And you just hear that the whole time. This is
Okay.
so it's just very magical. Everything about this so far has just
Okay.
been beautiful and magical and artistic and happy. Okay, so she walks outside, and there's this great shot, nigga. She walks outside she's walking to work, and she looks to her left, and there's a building on fire in the backdrop. And she's like, and then she keeps walking. But the shot is beautiful. It looks beautiful, right?
He won Best Director for this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this movie won a bunch of awards. So as she walks to work, you hear the guy run out the movie theater and go, Eliza! And she stops and she goes, he goes, next time you bring rent, you stay, you watch a movie, please, you hang. My family loves you. Like, and the guy's going off about how much they love her and she needs to hang out more.
Right.
And she's like, oh, thank you. But she's got to go. She signs that she got to go.
Okay.
You know? She says everybody loves her. Everybody loves this girl. So
But she's lonely.
she walks home.
That's why you show her masturbating first.
Got to.
Yeah, that's how you
Because
show that
you're
she's
a weird
lonely.
fucking guy. Like how that's the one way. And there's like all those millions of ways you can do it. He's like, no, I know the way.
No, that's the way. That's the way. That's the way.
She walks by, she's at some window shop and she's looking at fancy shoes and stuff. And she's waiting for the bus and she's whistling the French theme that's in the background that you hear. She's whistling it. She gets there.
How hilarious would this be?
What?
If, not knowing, just if she's just in the room masturbating and the fish walks in like, oh, you need a flipper? And then it's just the American Pie scene. That's what I thought of.
Callback.
Yeah.
It's a beaner back.
It's
That's what we call callbacks on this show.
so wet back.
We call them wetbacks. We're starting hot, baby. We're starting hot this episode.
Oh man, we're rolling the dice, aren't we?
So she gets there to the lair.
Okay.
You're right about that.
It's a lair.
Well, no, it's a government job.
It's a
So
lair.
I guess
It's
it's
a
a lair.
government
It's a
lair.
government lair.
It's a government lair.
It's got fences with high shit that says
a
"Don't
lair.
come in."
That's a lair.
That's a lair.
That's a lair.
I'd assume the Joker's place, whenever the Joker lives, and there's a "Don't come in" sign.
At some place, there's something that tells you not to come in.
For sure.
Yeah.
Or come in, which is even weirder. Like, come inside, please come inside.
Yeah,
And
well,
like, yo, that's the scariest guy of all time.
That would be very Joker.
That right? And you're like, well, don't go in there.
Yeah. Or go in.
And it's just chilling, a good time. And he's normal. He's like, I've been trying to get people to come in. Nobody comes in. So he just the Joker's an idiot.
Yeah.
She gets to her government job. Music shift. The tone just gets dark immediately.
Okay.
Right when she gets to the job, you hear, Eliza, come on in here. God dang, girl, you ain't never on time. And then it's Octavia Spencer. Great actress. You know who that is, right?
Yeah.
The woman from like The Help and Ma, her new movie.
Right.
She's
that's why I asked.
Killer mom.
I knew where she was in. I knew that she was.
You knew she was in this.
Yeah. That's what I remember. I asked.
You know who the guy is? The guy you kept calling the director. You know that actor. You know who that actor is in this?
Is that Michael Shannon?
I was about to. He's one of my favorite actors.
Okay,
Legitimately, one of my favorite actors of all time. He is not beyond this. I mean, he's unreal in this movie, but he's always.
I think
so
I haven't
good.
seen most of his movies.
Really?
Yeah.
He's such a good actor. He's so intense.
Yeah, he was the one in 8 Mile, right?
Huh?
He was in 8
Yeah,
Mile.
he's an 8 Mile.
Yeah. I haven't seen most of his movies.
Yeah, you ever see where he's like the lead, like
Yeah.
this.
This is like his elite. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he's the dude. So, Octavia's giving her shit for getting on time. And she's holding a spot for her while they're all clocking into work.
Right.
And everybody else is yelling at, like, oh, you always do this for her. And Octavia's like, oh, shut up. Y'all leave her alone. Eliza doesn't hear any of this because she's a retard or whatever. So she keeps on walking. So they work together, like you said.
Yeah.
And they're cleaners at the government job.
Okay.
You're right about that. Mm-hmm. And Octavia, it's a montage of them cleaning. And Octavia's complaining the whole time
Hey, she don't hear any of it.
about her husband.
Okay.
About her just no. What do you mean she hears of it? She can't talk.
Oh, she can't talk.
She can hear everything.
She's not deaf.
She's not deaf. She just can't talk. So she's just complaining all kinds of my old guy. It, Bruce. He don't do this and he don't clean up and just he ain't doing girl. And she's just going off laughing to herself and she's just listening. You know what I mean? And they go into a room and Octavia is yelling at people for not throwing stuff in the trash and blah blah blah. And then she's going off. One of her big bosses come in and he goes, "Hey, woman, cut that chatter. We got to get serious today." She's like, "Sorry, boss." And then he goes, "Everyone, today we have a new asset. All right? I don't want to overstate the matter. This is the most sensitive asset we have ever harvested in this facility, okay?" And they roll in a big ass tank. Right? Michael Shannon's behind that motherfucker. General Zod. That's what I call him.
Okay.
General Zod.
Okay.
You've never seen Man of Steel, huh?
No.
Can't wait till we do that one, bro. General Zod, don't fuck around. All right? He is, and camera comes in, he's intense as shit, just looking around, scary everybody, right? He goes, "Who's security around here?" And then he somebody raised their hand and he goes to talk to them. While he goes to talk to them, they show the camera comes in on Eliza. She hears something in the tube, right? And she gets close and she puts her hand on the glass, and then a motherfucking fish kind of hand hits the tube, right? And she's like, "What the fuck?" And the doctor's like, "Get them out of here," right? And the hand keeps beating on the glass hard as fuck. And you hear squeals, right? And then they leave. And then Eliza and Octavia are staring at each other like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they're like, Octavia's like, "What? I'm so sick of this job, child. Oh my God. They always bringing in nonsense." When she saw a fish man, that's how you act.
Yeah.
So Eliza drives with Giles.
Yes.
Richard Jenkins.
Yes.
To a restaurant, right? He's wearing a toupee now, because he's bald. So he's wearing a toupee, clearly a toupee, and he's all nervous, and he's peeking at this Southern dude who works at the job because he's gay, and he's all flustered, and Eliza is like pushing him forward, like go, and he goes over and he's talking to the guy, and the guy,
you know how there's a big conservative talking point about how if if you let gay people fuck, what's gonna make people fuck animals? What's gonna stop them?
They're right.
Yeah, this movie is their propaganda.
Yeah. I told you, dude, Guillermo del Toro has some issues. So he's flirting with the guy at the counter, right?
Yeah.
And he's leaning forward and they're talking. And
What is this? Do we find out where this takes place?
no.
Okay, I like that.
No.
Okay,
It feels like France. But it's not, for sure.
A lot of straight up English accent, like American accents, right?
But I guess because maybe it's that they're working at a government job.
Maybe.
Because everyone in the town isn't. So that's why I'm like, well, maybe it's New York.
But he's flirting with a Southern dude, right?
Southern dude, he keeps talking to the Southern dude, and the Southern dude leans over and goes, "I don't really talk like this." And he has a Canadian accent, and he's from Ottawa. So that's why I'm like,
Well, what's happening?
yeah, I'm like, I'm not sure,
Maybe
actually.
you're right. Maybe Del Toro does have issues.
So the guy, the guy doesn't really, Richard Jenkins is flirting. The guy's kind of being nice. Mm-hmm. And then he goes back into a southern accent. And he's like, y'all come back now, you hear? Right? And then him and Eliza, they're not back at his place, and they're eating the pies that they bought.
Right.
And he's like, do you think he really meant it, or do you think he was just saying it? Right? And they're like going over it. Like, he's like, oh, I don't know. It's nice, right?
Yeah.
And then they're eating the pies, and they're like, both like, oh my God, these are so horrible. Like, these are the worst pies. And so she flips the channel, and the civil rights news is being covered, and people are getting hosed, and he gets real mad. He's like, change that. I don't want to see it. Don't make me watch that. That's horrible. I can't watch that, right? And she cuts it onto a musical, and then they start dancing, and it's this French musical, and they're singing the song, and they're laughing. And then he goes, man, I wish I was 18 again. If I was 18, I would give myself the best advice, Eliza. Take care of your teeth, and just fuck way more. I thought that was really good advice.
Good advice.
So they both watch and they pretend to tap dance in their seats and they're laughing, and it's a really cute scene. Next morning, alarm goes off. She jerks off in the tub. Same routine. Boils the eggs for lunch. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing, right? The French happy French song's playing. She gets to work. Octavia complains. Come on, Eliza, get on here. Everybody's like, oh, why do you always hold her spot? Same thing. They're now cleaning the bathroom, right? Octavia's going off on how these are the smartest minds in the world, yet they all still pee on the floor. Like, what the fuck is going on, right? She's going off, blah, 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 how big of a target they need to pee. And she's going off, General Zod comes in.
Ooh.
All right? And he comes to the bathroom, and then you're like, oh, sorry, sir, we're going to leave. And he's like, no, you guys can stay. I know you're just having a little girl talk. Don't mind me. Takes his dick out and starts pissing. Dude, that's the most boss move I've ever seen, if I've ever seen one. If I've ever seen a boss move, nigga.
Yeah.
Oh, don't mind me, ladies. Keep cleaning. Psst, psst. Come on. So he sets his cattle prod. He's like a cattle prod stick. Sets it down, right? They're all looking at it. And he's like, oh, you guys noticing my cattle prod? And he tells them how powerful it is. Like, how it can fucking kill it. You know what I mean? An elephant or some shit.
Yeah.
And then he on the way in, he washes his hands. I should mention that. On the way in, he stops to wash his hands. So on the way out, they look at him, and he goes, let me tell you something, ladies. It says a lot about a man when he washes his hands. A man who washes his hands twice, he doesn't trust himself. That's a weak man. Shows a sign of weak character. So goes this whole speech, right? And they're just looking at him, right? And he goes, anyway, pleasure chatting with you ladies. And he fucking leaves. He is so fucking intense.
Yeah.
And they're just looking at each other like,
an intense human being.
oh, dude, that's exactly. I mean, it's like,
just imagine walking into the bathroom, some dude just lays down his cattle prod.
Yeah, and then goes off about hand washing and how it shows how weak you are.
Yeah. It's like, Jesus Christ, I think you're looking into this a little bit, man.
Just relax, bro.
Yeah.
So
you ever walk through a field?
As he leaves, she notices where he had the cattle prod on the table. There's just blood all at where the end of it was, and she's just like, "What the fuck?"
Ooh.
Right? So as they're cleaning, cut to them. They're cleaning the hallway. They're mopping. They hear pop, 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 pop. Fuck! Zzz, like the doors open, the big metal doors. General Zod comes out, blood all over the place. He's holding his hands. He's missing these fingers. I'm sorry, these fingers.
Okay.
He's like this. And he drops out and just passes out. Right? And then the doctor runs out. He's losing blood. Gotta get him out. You know? Right then, they're staring, right? Their boss comes up. Like their boss. Not the doctor, not him, but their boss comes up.
Their actual boss, yeah.
And he grabs him. He's like, you two with me now. And he's panicking. He's like, oh, Lord, we are in a pickle. We got to clean this mess up. Oh, my God, we got to clean this up. And he goes, here's some mops, blah, blah, blah. Clean all this blood up. I want this place rendered spotless in 20 minutes. They open the door, just blood everywhere, all over the lab. Blood everywhere. Okay? Octavia's going off. She's like, I can handle pee. I can handle poop. But blood? Child, this is too much. You know, going off, right? She's like, Eliza, let's clean this fast and get the hell out of here. This is too creepy. And so they start cleaning it. Eliza finds the two fingers. And she holds them up, and then she's like, Octavia's like, give them to me. And they put them in a bag, and she goes running like, Mr. Fleming. Octavia runs off. So now Eliza's in the room by herself. All right?
Ooh.
I love how they said it, right? I love how they got there. It wasn't no corny way to get
smoothly.
there. Got there real and intensely.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think that's how they're going to get there. It was General Zod getting hurt. You know what I mean? Like, that's a...
What's his name in the actual film?
That's Mr. Strickland.
Okay.
Mr. Strickland.
Okay.
That's a scary name. Mr. Strickland.
Yeah.
That's a scary name. Mm-hmm. So
The end.
End. Yeah. And strict. That's in the. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Strickland. You
Yeah.
know. So Eliza hears something swimming in the tube, and she walks up to it, and then it's the fucking sea fish monster.
The sea
you
fish
know?
monster. Okay. So this is the first time we see it?
First time we see it. And we see him in the tube, though, floating. And he's looking at her. And then he has bullet holes in him. Like he has and the like blood's coming out of him, right? And then he swims away. Like he looks at her for a second, then he swims away. The boss comes in and he grabs the fingers. Eliza goes home and she's telling Giles about the mermaid she saw today. And he's just like giving her shit. Like, you did not see a mermaid. Shut up. You know what I mean? She's going, no, not. She's signing about how she saw a mermaid. She saw a mermaid.
Right.
Right. So, which is also, I love how she called it a mermaid. It's like, oh, wow, that would be a way to put it. Even though I would look at it and be like, that's a sea monster. Because, nigga, mermaids don't look like that. You've seen what the monster kind of, or what it looks like, right?
I've seen the monster.
Not a mermaid.
Not really.
You wouldn't
That's
go
a
mermaid.
stretch.
It's a stretch.
It's a stretch.
It's a stretch. So,
But I guess it's like a fish in a man
he
shape.
is a mermaid. No, I agree
yeah.
with her.
Yeah.
He is a mermaid.
Yeah.
It's crazy. She's immediately, that's how she saw it.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So,
Maybe all that jerking off gives her clearer vision.
yeah, it's also true. So the next day, Giles he takes the painting he's been painting on, like working on for a while, and he goes, I'm gonna go get paid. And when I get paid, we're gonna get some pie. And then she laughs and they're all happy. And then she's like, wish me luck. And he wishes her luck. And then she watches a musical on television, just laughing to herself. Giles goes to the painting people, like these like hiring people, and they tell him that they want the photo to be green. They didn't ask for it to be red, and the person in the painting should be more happy. They don't like it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then the boss asks, have you been drinking again, Miles? And he's like, no, sir, not a drop, I promise. And then they bicker going back and forth. He's like, I promise I'm clean. They let you know that, okay, Giles has clearly had a
Problem.
So,
Kind of like the guy, in was it Cincinnati, who's on heroin?
God, we did a radio show in Cincinnati, and they were like, the guy was like, it was like Dirty Dan and the pirate or whatever.
Yeah, the pirate fucker.
Yeah, Dirty Dan and the pirate fucker, and kind of radio show. And then they were like, "Oh, hey, Brendan Schaub. Oh, look at our sound guy back here, Luke. Say hi, Luke." And the guy's like sweating, and he's like, and they're like, "Luke's been addicted to heroin the last 3 years. He's trying to quit it, but he is not doing good."
Yeah, he just got popped by the cops. This is his first day back. We don't know if he's gonna make it.
Yeah, and they're like, "What do you think, pirate?" And he was like, "Arr." And Brendan was like, "Hope you do okay. Hope you survive, man."
And that's Dirty Dan and the pirate fuck.
Arr.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a funny weekend. Yeah. It was Cincinnati, do better, you know?
Yeah. Did you even try?
Yeah, that was the worst. Out of all the cities, guys, I'm sorry. Cincinnati sucked ass, dude. I don't like to shit on cities because but it didn't make sense how much it sucked compared to all the other cities we've been to. Like, even the worst, the second worst city, which I don't even know what it would be if I had to rank it, is still a great city.
Yeah.
I still had a great time. Do you feel me? It just happened to be the worst out of the trip. Cincinnati actually sucks asshole.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there, guys. But thank you for all those Cincinnati beaners. You know we love you. We're coming back next year.
We love you, and please move.
So we don't have to come back there.
Yeah.
We go back to Cleveland, where it's awesome. Do like Cleveland. They're right there.
Yeah, they're so close.
Do like them.
Yeah, be better. You're right.
So
That should be Cincinnati's motto. Cincinnati.
be better.
We'll try to be better.
We'll try.
Yeah.
Please. So the guy, he tells Bernie, he's like, I want to come back to this job, Bernie,
Okay.
please, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, fix this first and then we'll see. Fix this painting, do what we say, right? And he's like, puts his head down, he's like, okay. So Eliza goes in to where they're keeping the fish man again the next day. Taps on the glass. Nothing. Taps on the glass. And then she hears chains in this like pool of water. And she looks to the right, and then she sits next to it, and she hears the chains rattle again. She's like, right? And then she opens up like her lunch bag and grabs one of her eggs that she made for lunch for herself, and she sets it down. And then he kind of peeks his head out, and he stares at it, and then he slowly swims up, and you see there's a chain around his neck, right? And then he gets up to her, and he stands, and he's fucking giant. He's huge. Like, I mean, now you really, this is the first time you see, like you see him in the thing, but now you see him out of the water,
Right.
in the flesh,
glory,
like in his glory, in like whoever did the makeup on this I mean, they definitely won Best Oscar for makeup because it's like, whoa, this looks real.
Okay.
He looks like a fucking what a fish man would look like. It's crazy.
A mermaid.
Or a mermaid. Mm-hmm. She moves the egg towards him, right? She's looking at him, and he roars at her, but not like a fish man, or like a hiss, almost like a. And it's like his gills come out and his fucking fang, And she screams, runs back, and then she does sign language, saying like food, like just food, like eat the food, like for the egg, and she pushes it forward a little bit more, and then he grabs it and he dives back in the water, and then she runs out the room, right? And Octavia Spencer notices but doesn't say anything, like sees her like doing, it, doesn't say anything,
Right, like a good friend,
like a good fucking
like
friend,
a good friend.
So General Zod calls those two in for questioning, right? The next day. And he's got his fucking fingers bandaged up, right? He's like this, he's missing fingers. And he's calm about it though. And he's saying, he's asking the black woman really racist shit. Like, hey, I heard you niggers like pig feet and shit. Like he's just saying shit like that. And she's just like, you know, he's just letting you know that, this guy's a fuck.
This guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah. And so he's eating these little candies as he's talking, right? And he's talking real down to her. And then he talks to Eliza and he finds out that she was like, you know, a mute and she's a child that was found by the river as a kid and blah, 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 right? So he goes, you're the one that found my fingers. And then Eliza goes like this, and then she holds up his wedding ring. And he's like, thank you. And he grabs it. And then he gives her shit for finding his fingers and they were dirty. Right?
Well, Jesus.
He's an asshole, dude.
Yeah.
Right? That made him more of an asshole than the race. It's just like, dude, will you just shut the fuck up?
How about you don't get your fingers bitten off, you dumbass?
You dumb fuck.
Yeah.
Don't get so close to the fish man.
Yeah, you're like the director person. Delegate.
Delegate, dude.
Delegate, bro.
So he
Someone
notices
can make a sticker of Michael Shannon's face with the words delegate. Bro under them.
with his intense
Yeah,
ass
yeah. Delegate,
General
bro.
Zod face. So he notices the scars on her neck, right? And then he asks how she got him, and then the Octavia says, she had him since she was a baby. And then he goes, who would do such a thing to a baby? Terrible how sinful this world can be. I loved it. I loved him saying that.
Yeah.
Loved him saying that line. Because he means it. Because he's like, who would hurt a baby? You know? As this dude is torturing this creature. He doesn't even know what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Doesn't know if it has feelings.
Such a government person. I love it. It's like such a Dick Cheney kind of person.
Dick
You know what I mean? Like
Dick
those
Cheney-
guys who like,
Dick Cheney vibes.
bro, when you love your daughter and you're like, baby, be a gay marriage. Oh, what? Blow up Iraq. Blow it all up.
Cheney vibes.
Blow the whole country up. And they're like, but what about the women and children? Blow it up. My gay daughter should love who she wants.
Dick Cheney
Blow up
vibes.
that fucking brown country.
Dick Cheney vibes.
Hey, those are real people, huh?
Yeah, right? It's weird.
Yeah.
We just murder them. Well,
No,
not
I
me.
meant the Cheney.
Oh, the Cheney. I thought you meant brown people. Like, yeah, it's crazy. They're weird people.
Nobody gives a fuck about you. You guys aren't black people. We're important people. These are brown people, dude.
He's acting like black people are important.
Wait, no, in America, yeah, we outweigh you guys. But
Oh, yeah.
It's not even close.
Wow, weigh us?
Like just how much important we are here to y'all.
That's fair.
Not even in the same universe.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Like if you guys cry racism, it's like,
Well, yeah. Well, that's because.
whereas black people cry racism, people like care.
Yeah, well, that's because generally for brown people, at least my type of brown, it's not that hard.
Yeah. Well, Asian too.
Yeah.
That's your brown though.
Yeah, that's my. What's
Mexicans have a Mexicans.
Mexicans
They
have
can
a-
throw their hat in the ring.
Mexicans have
people
a-
care about Mexicans.
Yeah. That's whenever like there's like
Yeah, people do
Indian.
not care about brown people.
Well, no, it's like because it's like okay, whenever like Indian people like complain, a lot of the time like let's take the Apu documentary for an example. I'm just like, dude, come on.
Oh, that's the weakest complaint of all time.
Yeah, dude. First of all, relax.
This is the weakest complaint of all
Yeah.
time.
Second of all, it set Indian people up really well as these funny, hardworking people.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Second of all, so you complain about how Indians are misrepresented in the media, and then you have a chance to represent Indian people in the media
And he uses to
to
complain.
complain. And bro, my cousin
Could've
like
picked a better
knows the
complaint.
family, so I know you come from an upper middle class upbringing. So guess what? It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
No, for sure it was fine. Hey,
wasn't that bad.
Hey, Apu guy, for sure it was
It
fine.
wasn't that bad.
For sure it was fine.
You know what happened? 9/11 happened, and then people looked at you a little weird. And then it was
How
like
funny is that?
a little tougher to get through the airport, but you still got through. You still got
Every
through.
time.
Every
Yo,
time.
hey, every time.
Every time,
you
dude.
got through.
My name, Hassan, the leader of the Taliban in Pakistan is Hassan.
Yeah, so you know that's where Mosita got the name. We talked about it.
Relax.
Your mom loves them.
But I get through the airport every time. Well, up until this podcast, I get through the airport every time.
Spoil the
really
beans for us
easily.
again!
Yeah, until Derek just decided to fuck it up for me.
Yeah, baby. I've been trying for a while.
Yeah.
It's hard. They don't
That's-
care about you.
It's
You're a
not-
bad
it's
boy.
not that we don't care. It's
No, I meant because you say 9/11 stuff all the time.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah. But they don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. So relax. It's not that bad. Not that
You
bad.
posted pictures of you with the burning towers.
I have posted.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they gave up on you. They're like, this guy's not gonna do shit.
Yeah. This guy is ridiculous.
This guy's a fucking lunatic.
yeah.
You and then Aziz and who else is brown? Hassan Minaj. They don't worry about you guys. Fahim.
No.
You guys aren't the ones.
No.
Now, Hormuz. that guy's a problem.
Yeah, well, he comes from. Does he come from another country, or he's born here? I don't know.
Either way, it's bad news.
Regardless,
bad news bears.
Yo, if you're an American-born brown person,
Yeah, you're
chances
fine.
are things have been okay. For you.
Asian too. I throw Asian in the brown. All
Well,
forms of Asianish.
Besides Fahim, me, Hassan, and Aziz, culturally, us and the Chinese are very close. Indians and Chinese culture to me are very close. We're Asian.
Yeah,
We're
you're all
Asian.
Asian.
We're all
Fahim
Asian.
looks different than y'all.
Well, Fahim's Middle Eastern. Fahim's not Asian.
Gross.
Gross.
Check out his comedy. He's really funny. Fahim Anwar. Anyway.
Unless you don't like Middle Eastern people, then I avoid it.
Actually, then definitely check out his comedy because then you're
Yeah.
going to be like, whoa,
Yeah,
this guy
really-
talks about this?
Yeah, I'll challenge your ideas on Middle Eastern people. But if you like really just hate the sight of them, it's not
Yeah, the side of him because he is Middle Eastern. But if you're like, what he like, I don't like when they talk about like Hassan Minaj stuff. It's like, oh, you don't have to worry about that. Because sometimes I don't want to hear about your Hassan Minaj. Like, oh, that's how he talks. It's like, dude, just fucking talk. Stop clapping your hands so much. Just fucking talk
we talking
about the fucking Patriot stuff. So the Patriot Act. Wait, what's this? I don't know what this podcast is about.
what happened?
You're the one. We're talking about Dick Cheney, and then it got off the rails.
Yeah, I did get off the rails. Yeah, oh, we're talking about how Michael Shannon's a Dick Cheney type.
God, he's a bad person.
Yeah.
So, he tells them how they're going to be cleaning the laboratory where this monster is going to be held.
Right.
And he tells them how he found it. He's like, I found that filthy thing in South America, and I dragged it here myself. All right? He goes, and on the way, well, me and him didn't tend to like each other too much as he keeps eating his candy. What a monster.
Yeah.
What a monster.
Yeah.
I think you didn't like him. I think I'm going to go with that, Michael. And then he goes, now, I want you guys to know something. Just because he stands on 2 feet, now, that don't mean he's a human. All right? God don't look like that. He looks like me or you. Maybe me.
He says maybe me.
Oh, yeah, he goddamn right. He says maybe me.
What? You have to believe that to say that.
You have to, dude. He looks at Octavia and goes, well, I mean, maybe me.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, that's all right. And then he gets a call from the general, and he talks to the general about how he lost his fingers, but he's all right. Everything's looking good. He's looking forward to see him, and he's like, we have to make a decision about the asset, right? The Mr. Fleming guy drops the General Zod dude off at his home, right? This is the boss man at the place, drops the General Zod off at his home. He has 2 kids and a wife, all right? 2 beautiful white kids, beautiful blonde wife, all right? She's literally wearing the stepwives outfit.
Okay.
You know, the Stepford Wives outfit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The hair, everything. And classic life. Oh, honey, she's all glad she's home. She talks about how great he is. The kids are like, oh, Dad, I got an A on the test. I won the baseball game. Like all these things, right?
Right.
And his dad's like, somebody said I can be something, but I told him I can be whatever I want. And he's like, and he's great acting, bro. All these things are happening around him, but he's not breaking his face. He's just kind of undoing his tie, and he's listening to everything. And he's like, to himself, he goes, it's America, son. You can be anything you want. Be anything in this country. Right? But he's just fucking
Hey, what's going on with him?
so intense, dude.
Yeah.
And then he's talking to his wife now, right? And the wife tells him to finish your food, and she's like, and then she whispers there, and then come upstairs. I got to talk to you, right? And they get upstairs and they're talking, and he says how he needs a new car. He's like, I think it's time for me to get a new car. And then she pulls out her titty. Great tit, by the way. Hard ass nipple, pink nipple, blonde woman. You know, it's just everything you want in life.
Yeah, it's everything you want.
Yeah. And then she grabs his hand, put her on her titty, and she goes, how about a Cadillac, honey? And he smiles to himself, and he starts
move.
fucking the shit out of her.
Good move.
All right, so he's fucking her. You see him fucking her.
Right.
She goes, honey, his blood from his hand, his missing finger hand, is kind of squirting out the bandages onto her chest. She goes, honey, your fingers, honey. He takes his bloody finger hand, covers her mouth as the blood is now squirting on her face. Honey. Silence. Don't fucking talk. Don't talk. Sweetie. Yo, General Zod. Yeah, you didn't see that scene coming, did you? Dude.
5 seconds ago, just the world's best titty was out. What the fuck?
What the fuck happened, Guillermo del Toro? What the fuck happened, Doug?
Yeah, maybe he's not well adjusted.
Dude.
Or he's the most.
That scene, that scene is something so, because it ain't rape, but man, it rape. It feels like it.
Yeah. What's crazy is that he was in the writer's room somewhere just like, yes! Yes! This is the scene! Yeah! Woo!
Oh my God.
Woo! did it, boys. We did it.
Oh my God. That's exactly how he felt when he wrote it, because he knew. He knew. Yo, it's crazy as a director. You know, though, when you write some shit, you're like, it's like a joke.
Wait.
Sometimes when you write a joke, you're like, I got one.
Yeah, I got one. I got a scene.
I don't even have to say it out loud, baby. Like, he didn't like, I don't even have to shoot this.
No.
I know.
Yeah.
When he fucks this woman and there's blood squirting out on his wife's face, and he keeps on fucking and then covers it and goes silence.
Yeah.
And then he screamed and came. Just like that. So,
Relationships are complicated.
dude, they can get really weird. Eliza, this time, it's the next day. She brings music, like a recorder. She plays music and she lays some eggs out for the fish man. And she's eating next to him and he's eating and they're looking at each other and he's liking the music and she's signing to him like music and then he signs back. You know what I mean? Like all these things. And they're just happy and they're making noise with each other and this becomes like the daily routine. Like this turns
Right.
into a montage. It starts happening every day. Feeding him eggs, bringing him different music. Now he's choosing which music he likes and what he doesn't like. You know what I mean? And they're kind of signing back and forth. She's dancing with him outside as he's kind of dancing in the water and swimming. You know what I mean? And the camera pans back. You see the doctor watching. And he's like, mouth just open. Like, what the fuck? Okay. Doctor goes home. So now you didn't even know the doctor was a character until now, kinda,
Yeah,
you know, which I love.
Oh shit.
So now you follow the doctor home. He opens up his floorboards and he grabs some papers, right, out of his floorboards. And then he calls somebody and then he goes to the middle of nowhere and he meets a man. They both start speaking code words like something in like Russian.
Right.
And then the guy says it and then they thumbs up. All right? This because you knew that the Russians were in this.
Yeah,
you
dude,
were
from the
waiting
trailer.
for what? Yeah,
From the trailer.
They let you know in the trailer.
Yeah.
But I like how you don't know how the
they got
Russians are
in.
involved.
Yeah. And they do have a spy in there.
They have the doctor.
The doctor.
All right. So they go.
Pieces are being set.
They take the doctor down. They go meet like top Russian people. And he shows them
Top Russian.
Top Russians. And they show him all the things he found. And he's like, he's telling him, I think this creature can communicate. And he's like, I have reason to believe not only is it intelligent, it responds to language, it responds to music. We don't know what else it can do. Like, but it's definitely a living, thinking,
Yes, it's got a
conscient being.
conscience.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he's telling the Russian boss doesn't give a fuck at all. Just kind of brushes it off. And you can tell the doctor does not like this. You can just see it on his face. He's right. So Eliza, the next day late again, blah, blah, blah. Octavia holds the spot. Same routine. Okay. Zod is watching from up top now, but he's watched Eliza as the same routine's happening. She's smoking cigarettes with the cleaning crew at work, right? And then she sneaks away to go hang out with the monster like she does. She goes in, he's chained outside the water, blood all everywhere. You know what I mean? And she's like, oh my God, she runs up. She's like, her signs, are you okay? Are you okay? And as she's doing this, she drops her food and one of the eggs roll out of her bag. All right? She looks over, she sees General Zod's cattle steak on a chair. And she's like, she looks, and then the thing's kind of shrieking, and then she realizes she hears the doors open. Oh shit, he's coming back in. She goes and hides. Okay? He comes back in, and he goes, sorry, did you miss me? Had to take a little break. And then you see the motherfucking thing is all bloody, right? And he's rolling up his sleeves, and he goes, I was thinking, maybe you wanted another bite of me. And then he shocks the shit out of him. The thing's like, he squeals like really loud.
What is he trying to get it to do?
Dude, he starts telling him how he hates his fucking squeal. Shocks it again. Thing squeals again. It's like, that's the worst fucking noise I ever heard. He's just right in his feet. It's the worst fucking noise, right? The fish, he shocks it again to the point where the fish now just passes. He's now just passed out.
Yeah.
Blood everywhere, just passed out, right? As he's doing this, he looks down. He notices
The egg.
on the ground. He's like, what the fuck? Cut to outside. Octavia's looking for Eliza. She's like, where the fuck is Eliza? You know what I mean? The General Hoyt comes in. Remember that she was on the phone with the general?
Right.
The general comes in. General Hoyt, sir. And he's like, Mr. Strickland. And he's like, so this is it, huh? He's like, yep, that's it. The thing's just passed out. And he's like, the natives back in the Amazon in South America, hundreds of years, thousands of years ago, worshiped this creature as a god. We found all the things, all the relics, all the history. They worship this thing as a god. The general goes, not much of a god now. Don't you love America?
Dude, we
Don't you
are
love America?
the best, baby.
Not much of a
Just
god now.
fucking killing your gods.
So, Jesus, this is us, bro. We are fucking evil.
Yeah, baby.
So-
Number one. Number one.
They discuss it as this thing's just bleeding out.
Yeah.
And the doctor's pissed, and he's saying how you can't just disregard this thing. He talks about how amazing it is. He's like, the fact that it can breathe underwater and out of water. Just that alone, guys. Like, which is a good point.
Right.
He's like, just that alone. He's like, how that doesn't impress you? Which it should. It should be like, guys, that doesn't just alone blow your fucking skulls off.
Yeah.
That this thing is breathing outside of the water and inside of the water.
Does it exist?
It's not us.
Yeah. This is a different whole thing. It's a whole different thing.
So the generals, they don't care. They just ignore him.
No.
Zod wants to take it apart, learn how it works, like any good American does.
Yeah.
Want to dissect it. The doctor screams how they need to put it back in the tank. Blah blah blah. They start putting it back in the tank. As they're putting it back in the tank, the doctor goes, General Hoyt, you cannot kill this creature. General Hoyt goes,
I can do whatever the fuck I want.
bro. He goes, love it. The line, the way he says it though, he goes, count these stars, son. The side. They have the generals have the
Yeah.
stars on this thing. Count these stars, son. 5. You know what that means? That means I do what the hell I want. That's America. That's America.
I think that's just more. I think any.
Actually, that's any country. That's any country.
military.
That's military.
Yeah.
You get whatever the top thing is.
Yeah.
You got that?
Yeah.
You might as well be the president.
Yeah,
You have more power.
That's more. That's the whole thing is more people, because there will be the people who are like, we gotta take it apart, and we will be the people that will be like, no, we gotta save it. And usually, the thing that involves destroying has more support.
Always.
Yes.
Because people love to destroy.
Yeah.
People also are scared of new.
Yeah.
People are always scared of new.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But also, why take this? Taking this apart is a bad idea because you don't know if you can weaponize it.
you don't even know what it is. You
Yeah.
haven't even took the second to.
Yeah.
You've just been beating the shit out of it.
Yeah, for no apparent reason. What do you want from
It
it?
hasn't done anything to you. You have to beat the shit out of it.
Yeah.
So the doctor, as he's going on pleading his case, right, that keep this thing alive, he notices Eliza in the back of the room hiding.
Yeah.
He doesn't but he sees her. He's like, and then she kind of runs out without anyone noticing but the doctor. Okay, he's looking at her as the doors close. So the general, as she's listening to it from outside, the doctor begs again. The general says, no, crack it open in the morning, finish the job. All right. She goes back to her home. She's begging her friend Giles to help break him out. Please, 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 please. He goes off about how illegal it is, blah, blah, blah. It's just a fish. She goes off signing about how he's alone. He needs help, please. He goes, no way. I'm not doing illegal. It's just a fish. She goes, what am I? And he goes, what? And then she mouths, I move like him. She goes, I move my mouth like him, but I make no sound like him, right? What does that make me, right? And then she looking at her, and then she goes like, say what I'm saying. And then he goes, okay. And she signs all that I am. He seems beautiful because he's saying it.
Right.
He goes, all that I am. And then she signs, and she goes, it all brought me to him. The way he looks at me, he doesn't know what I lack or how I'm incomplete. He sees me for what I am.
Damn.
I know. And he's feeling bad. Oh, dude, it tears you up. He makes Sam's watch, because he's like, damn, he's like, fuck. And then she's like, he is so happy to see me every single time. And now I can save him. And then she signs, and he doesn't say it. And she signs it again, and he's like, or let him die, right? And then she's crying. And she begs him. She's begging him, right? And then he goes, Eliza, I have to go. She begs him, please. And he goes, Eliza, I got a second chance. And he has this painting. He's trying to get back in that painting.
Right.
He's like, I got a second chance in life, please. And then he yells at her, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. He's like, we're nobodies. By the way, he isn't even human. And then he storms out. And then as he storms out, this is a great scene. She, boom, boom, hits the wall. He turns around, and she signs, if we do nothing, neither are we. Amazing.
Solid writing.
Right?
Solid.
Fucking solid writing, dude.
Yeah.
She's crying. He stops. And he keeps going. Right?
Classic.
So he brings in his new art to the people. They completely, they forget he even, existed in the first place. And then he realizes, like, fuck, this was, he's
This is not
pissed.
real.
They didn't even, they forgot him. It's over. So he leaves and he goes back to the pie place. And he's talking to the guy. And then he goes and he touches the guy's hand. He's like, let's go have a good time. Right? And the restaurant guy's like, yo, what the fuck? He's like, hey, man, what are you doing? Right then, black people walk into the restaurant. And they go to sit down, and then the guy at the counter goes, whoa, you guys can't sit here. And the black guys are like, come on, man, we're from out of town. We just, please, can we sit? And the guy's like, hey, you can eat out back, blah, 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 but you can't sit here. This is for customers only, white customers only. There's nobody in the restaurant, And then the guy, that Giles like, don't talk to them like that. That's horrible. You can't talk to people like that. He's like, you can get out with them, boy. And then they all get kicked out, right? And he leaves. So he goes back to Eliza's place, and she's cleaning. And he opens the door, and he goes, I have no one. You're the only person I can talk to. Whatever this thing is, you need it. Tell me what to do. And she runs up.
Woo! Fish heist.
Fish heist.
Fish heist. Glug glug, baby.
Glug glug, dude. Great scene.
Yeah.
Great scene, dude. So the Russian doctor meets up with his Russian bosses again.
Yeah.
And they tell him to delay the procedure. And then they give him a little bomb, right? And they say, this is a bomb. You put it on the fuse box. It'll make the entire building go dark for 5 minutes. No cameras, no lights, no nothing. All the power. And then they give him a syringe and serum. And they say, you got to kill it. And he goes, but we can learn from it, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, yeah, but we can't risk the Americans learning from it, and we don't. You have to kill it.
It's very government.
All right? So the Russian bosses that give him a syringe, and now this doctor he's in a motherfucking predicament.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Ooh.
Because he doesn't want to kill it at all.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Someone's about to find an unexpected ally.
So.
An unexpected comrade, you might say.
Comrade. So a guy is pitching Zod on the Cadillac. He's out car shopping.
Right.
And he's telling him how 4 out of 5 successful men drive a Cadillac, And you belong in this car, blah, blah, blah. So he gets it. He's feeling good about himself, and people are waving at him on the street. He's got this beautiful new Cadillac, right? So Eliza's sneaking around, setting up how she's going to break out this fish. Giles is painting a van back at home.
Right.
As music plays, there's like a montage going over, and Zelda's kind of, that's the Octavia Spencer, and she's just kind of watching her. She doesn't know what's going on, but she's watching her like, what is Eliza up to, you know? So Eliza goes over all the plans with Giles, and he's nervous as shit. You can tell he's just nervous, and he's breaking down, and then he's like, I can't do this, and he's like, it's too much, and she's just signing like, come on, I need you, right? And then she gets him ready, and finally he's like, okay, but you can tell he doesn't want to do it. So Zod is taking pain pills, and he's watching Eliza from up top as she's cleaning. And then he spills some water on purpose. And he looks at his assistant, he goes, call her in here to clean it. So Eliza comes up, and he's watching her as she's mopping the floor. And he goes, you're not much to look at, but I keep on thinking about you. He gets real close to her. She kind of like, she cowers down. And he goes, when you say you're a mute, do you squeak a little? And he's like, I don't mind the scars. And he looks at her. He tries to touch her, and she backs off. He's like, I don't mind that you can't speak. Matter of fact, I like it a lot. And she's kind of staring at him, and he goes, it gets me going. And then she runs. She just takes off running out the office.
Right.
And he just stares at her and smiles. Sam said that was the scariest scene because he was like, wow, if you really worked at like a job like that back in the day, that's just how the day was.
Yeah.
Like, damn, that is just your day. And now you're just, every day you go to work, you're like, is this the day my boss rapes me? Is this the day he decides he can't take it anymore, I guess? He can't take it anymore?
Simpler times, man.
Some would say the better times. So the Russian doctor gets the syringe ready.
A good amount of the electorate would. I'll tell you that right now.
So Eliza's checking her watch, right? Mm-hmm. Octavia is saying how they need to get home. The doctor, they're showing everything at once. The doctor is inside, and he's telling them how they need to delay the procedure. And then he's telling this to General Zod. General Zod's not having it. He's like, I need more time, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, don't be a loser. This thing's going to die. You learn. I leave. Everybody's happy. You want me gone? That's how I'm gone, you know? And then he's like, I can settle down with my family and move on. As he's talking and the doctor's pleading his case, he's noticing the cameras, all the security cameras behind, General Zod. And he sees Eliza. She's moving one. And he's like, but he keeps talking And then Eliza is now wetting all these towels like crazy, and she's putting them in this thing. And then Octavia, she's waiting on Eliza by the elevator. Like, where is Eliza? What the fuck is she doing? So she comes back in, right? Eliza runs in to where the fish is, and she starts trying to break him out. She breaks off the thing. The doctor slides out of nowhere. She's like, and he goes, who do you work for? In his Russian thing, who do you work for? And then she's like, and then he goes, we don't have enough time. And he hands her the keys, and he's like, let's do your plan, right? And then she's like, you can tell because he's like, fuck it, we don't even have time to.
Right, to discuss what's going on.
Yeah, let's just do it.
Let's get this thing out of here.
Yep. And so he tells Eliza how to keep him alive. He needs this. He needs this amount of salt in the water. He needs algae. He needs this. You know what I mean? Blah blah blah. It needs to be this temperature. And then he's like, this is the kind of food he eats. And then all these things. And he goes, I'll meet you in 5 minutes by the dock. Be prepared to go. He goes off. He sets up the fuse box thing.
Right.
Giles comes in with the van. Octavia sees Eliza with pushing the fish like with the thing, right, the cart, and she stops her. She goes, "Are you out of your mind?" And Eliza looks at her. She's like, "Don't do this, Eliza, please." And he doesn't say anything. Zod is looking at the cameras, and he's noticing one of the cameras is gone, like not working, and then in one of the other cameras, a van that he doesn't recognize and he's calling down. He's like, "Hey, what's that van? What is that van?" Right, and nobody's answering. Right. Giles is talking to the guy who's asking for his ID, blah, blah, blah. And the guy who asked for the ID notices Giles has a fake ID. And he's like, Right? Right then, the guy goes, "Get out of the vehicle." The fuse box explodes. Right? The place goes black. Octavia goes, "Oh, fuck it, we gonna burn in hell." And then she starts helping her. As this happened, the doctor comes up to the cop who has Giles. Like, he comes up right behind him, puts that syringe that was gonna kill the fish in that cop's neck. Kills that cop. Cop goes down, right? He's like, "Come on, move that van, let's go." Bro, the Russian doctor's the shit. He's a great character. When I saw the movie in theaters, I never did notice how important and big of a character he was.
Well, yeah, he helped but
he's also, like, you love his character. It's like, this dude's awesome.
This guy's awesome, all right.
So, the fish man, he stands up all the way tall to get out, like, into the van. Giles looks at him. He's just like, what the fuck, right? He's huge. They all get in. As Eliza's holding the fish man as he's you clearly beat up. And Giles is looking at him like, oh my God, he's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And he smashes into Homeboy's Cadillac. Just totals it. Right? And then keeps driving. So, yeah. So Zod comes out and he's shooting at the van like crazy, but they get away.
Right.
Right? He looks at his smashed caddy. He runs back inside. He checks the tub. It's empty. He just goes, "No!" Right? So they set up the fish man in the bathtub. He's breathing the water and they're putting the algae in there, but it's not enough. He's still he's choking still. And they're like, he needs salt. And then she comes in and she starts pouring all the salt in there. And then he finally starts he's like breathing normal, right? And then you see and then they all look at each other and they all kind of laugh. Like, holy shit, they just pulled it off, So Shannon goes around asking everyone, how the fuck did this happen? All right, General Zod. He's like, how the fuck did this happen? The general calls General Hoyt. He's pissed, blah, blah, blah. And he tells him, don't worry, son, I'm going to get it back. I promise, right? But General Zod looks concerned as he's saying these things. Like, you tell he doesn't believe it himself.
Right.
So Eliza goes out to the docks the next day.
That was a pretty smooth heist.
Oh, dude, they got it done.
Yeah, they got it done.
And then the doctor was the luck.
Well, the doctor made everything happen.
Made it all happen.
Yeah.
So she's looking out at the docks leading to the ocean, and then she plans a day to release him when it rains and the canal fills up and he can just swim right out.
Okay.
All right.
I like it.
So she gets the fish man a card and it says, "Glad to have you as a friend." And she signs the word to him and then he signs the words back and then they hold hands. Okay. So at work the next day, Octavia is like they're walking, right? And she's just biggest ear to ear smile on her face. Eliza. She's never been happier. Right. So the camera's just on her. She's walking, she's smiling. And then I love the shot. It pans back and you see Octavia's face. And she's like, and she's like, "Good. You just keep that face. You keep that face. And I'm going to try to not freak the fuck out."
Fair.
I love, because it was like, so fair. Because she's like, fair. Oh God. And she's like, "Eliza, I'm not good at lying, and all this stuff, right?" And then they're telling Zod how they think it was highly trained people that had to do this. There's no other way. It had to be highly trained, assassins or fucking spies, whoever did this. So as he's saying this, Zod is just watching Eliza as their people are telling him this. And then Giles back home, he's drawing the fish man, okay? And he's asking the fish man questions. He's like, "Have you always been alone?" The fish doesn't say anything. He's just asking him. He's like, and then he goes on.
What's the fish doing?
Just doing his own thing.
He's standing
chilling in the water. Chilling in the water.
Water.
And he's talking about how old he is and how he's just he's going off about how sad his own life is.
Right.
And he's like, maybe we're both just old relics.
Yeah.
That's what he says to the fish, right? So Zod is
one of them's a god. So
one of them's a god, not a relic. Zod's now questioning everyone one by one. All right, the whole staff.
The whole staff. Okay.
And he gets to Eliza and Octavia. And he goes, well, and he pulls their time cards. He's like, it looks like you two punched out before the incident because right before it happened, Octavia punched him out.
Why?
Just in case. It was Jean. You know what I mean? Remember when I said she was waiting by the elevator? So right before she leaves, she goes, Eliza, where are you? She just punches her out anyway.
Smart.
All right? So, he's like, well, it looks like both of you punched out before the incident happened, so, you guys weren't here. He goes, but if you know anything, if you heard anything, you got to tell us. And they're like, oh, yes, sir. And then he asked him if they saw anything about the doctor. He doesn't trust the doctor.
Okay.
He's like, anything about the doctor? Did he do anything? Was he being weird? And they're like, oh, we didn't see anything, sir. And then Zod is staring at Eliza, who's just staring at him with the biggest smile. The whole time, she's just like, not even that, almost like
just dreamily.
Like, what the fuck you gonna do? Yep.
Right.
What you gonna do?
Okay.
I got you. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a, what? I got you. Ain't nothing you like that. Like, hey, what you gonna do? You don't know shit.
There's stuff he can do.
But he don't know shit. He don't know shit.
He don't know shit.
He don't know shit. Like,
But
and
does
she knows
he
he don't know shit.
But does he notice the smile?
Huh?
Does he notice the smile?
So, as he's staring her down and asking, like, neither one of them budge. They don't give anything up. And then he stops and he's looking at her smile and he goes, what am I doing? Interviewing the fucking help. And he gets up and he looks at him again. He's like, the shit cleaners, the piss wipers. Get out of here. Go ahead and leave. And then Eliza's like, Octavia's like, yes, sir. And then she gets out and Eliza's just staring at him, still the same smile. And then she signs something. And he goes, what did you just sign? And she keeps smiling. She signs it again. And then she signs it again. And then the words come up and it just says, fuck you. And she just keeps signing it over and over and over. And he's like, what are you saying? And she's like, oh, he ain't saying nothing to her. What is she saying? And she keeps just, doesn't, bro, badass scene, dog. What are you saying? And she's just, dude, right?
God, always got to gloat after a crime, huh?
Fuck General Zod in that.
Yeah, I know. Fuck General Zod.
I like when a nigga's mad and you keep doing that. Bro, is there any better feeling than when you got a nigga mad and you talking to him calmly? You got him.
Yeah,
you got him.
You got him.
Because you know you got nothing. That's why you're mad. So Giles falls asleep back home. Fishman gets out the tub, starts going around the place. He looks at all the paintings of himself that Giles already made, and he's like looking at them. And then he starts watching TV, and it's an episode of Mr. Ed. Remember the horse?
Yeah, the horse, the horse guy.
So he's watching that, and he's
guy,
kind of like, yeah, he's like, what the fuck, And then he sees a cat, and he crouches down, and then both him and the cat, they kind of hiss at each other. And then Giles wakes up. Yeah. And he's like, oh, he looks in the bathtub's empty. He's like, oh, where are you? And then he goes around, and he sees him crouched down. He's like, what are you doing? And he turns, and he has the cat body in his hand, the fish man, and the head's completely gone. And he's just like, blood coming all down. He's like, no! Guy, and he runs up, and then it scares the fishman, and he drops the cat, right? And as he runs by, like, the fishman runs by Giles, he accidentally claws him. Like, he runs by him, like, scared, right? And as he runs by, it, like that, to Giles. And Giles drops it, and now there's just blood everywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, as he runs out the house.
Fishman runs out the house.
Out the house. Okay? Jesus. Yeah, this movie, I know, you're just like, dude, it just, the whole time, you're like, oh my God. Yeah. So, the doctor comes up to Eliza, right? And he finds, he goes, when will you release the fish? And then she signs soon. She's waiting for the rain to fill up for the canals.
Right.
And he goes, okay, that's a good plan. And then he gives her some more supplies, and he's like, good luck, right? And then she stops him, and she signs, Doctor, you are a good man. A really good man. Thank you. And then he goes, my name is Dimitri. And then she's like, they all, because and then he's like, and it's an honor to meet you. And like, he like shakes them. And then they're like, I love that. I thought the doctor's dope, man. I really respect, just like, oh, he's just a cool character.
Yeah. He's a good dude.
Just a genuine good dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right then, Eliza gets a phone call. Mm-hmm. She runs and she goes, she's like, oh my God. She runs back in the house. Giles is bleeding everywhere. He's like, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. You got to go. Go find him. Go. So she runs downstairs and she's looking for him. She sees, how she lives above the movie theater?
Yes.
She runs and she looks on the street and she's like, she's nervous. She looks to the left on the movie theater door. She sees a bloody hand, like a fish hand. She runs up. The ticket guy knocked out. She's like, she opens the door. She runs in. The fish man is standing in the middle of the theater, completely empty. And he's just watching the movie. And he's like, beautiful. And then that French music starts playing. Ooh, and he's just like, and she walks up and he's beautiful, man. Just beautiful. And then she
Damn. And then they had this so
she walks up and she just touches his chest as they watch the movie together.
Yeah, that's
And,
romantic.
and there's blood all over his mouth dripping down his face.
Extra romantic.
Guillermo del Toro, what do you jerk off to, dude?
What's going on up there, Mr. Del Toro?
So upstairs, she starts patching up Giles. As the fish man's playing with the cats again, and the Giles like, stop, don't. And he's like stop, and he puts the cat down, and then
So there's more cats.
oh, remember I told you
he has a million
he has a
cats,
million.
yeah.
He's a lonely old guy,
Yeah.
lonely old gay man.
Yeah.
Of course, he has a million cats. Yo, of course this guy has a million. I like how you're like, oh yeah,
Yeah, you're right. I forgot. I thought it was just the one cat.
he's old and gay.
Yeah, he's old and gay. That means a bunch of cats.
Sadly, it does. So he takes Giles' hands, right? And he puts it on his head. And he's like, what are you doing? And he puts his hand on Giles' head. And and he's like, what is going on, right? And then he kind of lights up all blue, all of his skin. And he's like, what the fuck? And then he touches his wound with his fish hand and then places it off, right? And he just looks at it. He's like, what? And then he looks at Eliza and he's like, interesting guy. And then they kind of just smile, right? And the fish man kind of runs off. So Zod is now interviewing the doctor. And he asks, why'd you give up your job? You had this top government job over here for this shitty government job. And then, he kind of answers it vaguely. And he goes, well, I suppose you're leaving. And then he goes, once the creature's found, I'll leave. And then he goes, huh. And then the doctor goes, well, do you have a lead on who might have him? And General Zod goes, oh, I do. And he's just staring at the doctor, right? So back home, Eliza is touching the mermaid man's skin. And when she touches it, it lights up blue.
Ooh, dope.
Really cool.
Hot.
Yeah, lights up blue.
Hot.
She keeps doing it over and over. And when at one point, he rubs her neck real soft, like with his hands. And then she goes, and she runs out the room, right? She closes the door. So now it's later that night. She's in bed. She sets her alarm. She's about to lay down, and then she stops. She's like, oh. And she goes back. She opens up the bathroom door, takes off her robe. She's butt-ass naked. You see them titties, see that ass. He stands. She gets in the tub with him. She closes the shades. Vous avez au revoir. Gets real loud, right? She rides to work the next day, glowing, just looking out the window.
Jeez. Good for her.
Good for her, dude.
Good for her.
So she
I don't
walks.
know if that's what the fish needs, but good for her.
Good for her.
Yeah.
She walks around so happy the next day at work. Octavia goes, what happened? What happened? It's quiet. And she looks at him and she goes, no. How? And then she just smiles and she goes, well, does he have a, And then she goes, but what? And then she goes like this. She goes, and she goes, oh. Like that's how his dick comes out. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's like a.
Because you can see when he stands up, you don't see anything.
Yeah.
He's a fish.
Oh, yeah.
But she said, so, like this, and then like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes, oh. And then Octavia goes, never trust a man. Even when he ain't got nothing down there, you still can't trust him. And then they both laugh, right? So the top Russians come and visit the doctor again. And he's at his house, and he didn't know they were coming. He's like, well, what are you guys doing here? And they're questioning him. And then as they're questioning him, he hides a knife kind of behind his back because he's even like, I don't trust these guys,
Yeah.
And then they asked him if he killed the monster, and he says he killed it, blah, blah, blah. And they go, huh, perhaps you were misremembering correctly then. Not what we heard. He's like, well, it's dead. And they go, okay, expect a call from us. And then they leave. And then he gets all nervous, and he puts the knife down.
Damn, he's going to die. Someone's going to die. The whole crew ain't going to make it. This wouldn't be an Oscar movie if the whole crew made it.
Come on.
Okay.
Zod sitting with his kids. This wouldn't be usually Oscar movies don't end how you want them.
Yeah.
That's why they're good movies.
Yeah.
And that's why they don't have sequels. So idiot movies that make sequels. So Zod sits with his kids as they watch TV, right? And the wife talking about whatever, and just that perfect American life. Everybody's talking, they're loving it, and he's pissed. He's just sitting there. And then finally, he's just not there. He runs outside, and it's just raining super hard. He gets in his car, and he smells his own rotten fingers, and they just look awful, and they smell awful. And he's like, and then he pops them, and pus comes out everywhere. It's the grossest shit you've ever seen. And he's just looking at it, he's just a bad guy. Even when he's popping pus from his fingers, you're like, you're a bad guy.
So unpleasant.
Dude.
Yeah.
So Eliza is running a bath and the sink until it overflows, and then she stuffs the door so like the water can't get.
Leave.
And so the bathroom starts flooding up, right? And they stand together naked, and the water is now up to their feet. Okay, people in the theater below are now having water drip on them. Like, what the fuck is going on? Because water's just coming through like crazy.
Right.
The water is now filling up this room, illogically filling up this room.
Well, I don't think at this point in the movie to be like, this isn't logical.
Yeah, you can't at this point.
Yeah, that train has left the station.
They let you in this scene though. You see her pussies and her titty.
Her pussies.
Yeah.
Her multiple ones?
Well, he has like 3. What are they? Is that normal?
You know what? You fuck more than me, so maybe.
That's so stupid. So you see her, I do that. You do get to see her puss though.
Nice.
Tits, and they're standing in
Again,
the water.
Oscar winning.
Oh yeah,
That's some Oscar winning pussy right there.
Giles wakes up because he keeps getting phone calls like, "Hey, there's a leak downstairs. Hey, there's a leak downstairs from your neighbor. What's going on?"
Yeah.
As he wakes up, he looks in the mirror. He has hair growing on his head again, like long hair. Remember when I said that?
Yeah, the thing. Yeah.
And then he looks at his scars; they're gone.
Gone.
And he's like, "What?" And then he goes in, and then he opens the door. Her and the fish man are now completely embracing underwater completely.
That's that shot.
That's that shot.
Okay.
You know the shot.
Another shot.
They're all completely underwater, basically. And he opens the door, all the water flows out, and then she's holding him, and he's completely lit up blue. He looks awesome. He's completely lit up blue, and she's smiling, and they're both naked, right? And he's laughing to Eliza. The next scene, she's got the robe on, and he's talking to her, and he's laughing about how his hair grows back, his wounds are gone. And he's like, they worshiped us. They said that he was a god, right? Well, maybe he is a god. He definitely is a god. Well, either way, we have to keep him around a while. Oh my God, look at my hair. Like he's just freaking. He's so happy, right? So the doctor gets a call from the Russian that they're going to get the extraction. Like there's going to be some extraction in 48 hours, blah, blah, blah. Outside, it's raining super hard, all right? And Eliza is noticing it's close to time. He has to let him go.
Right.
Right? She gets sad. Giles is drawing a dope painting of them embracing. Right? That shot, that famous look.
Right.
So the fish is staring out the window. He's wanting to be free. He's like shedding really bad. Like he looks awful. You can tell he's not doing well in this tub. There's not enough.
Right.
And Eliza's looking at him, feeling awful, knowing he needs to be free. Zod finds out General Hoyt is in the office. And he's like, oh shit. He panics. He goes up to him and he pleads his case. General Hoyt, blah, blah, blah. I've been useful for 13 years. I've had a perfect record, not one blemish. And for 13 years, I've never failed you. And I finally failed once. When is a man done proving himself, General? And the general says, well, a good man has the decency to not fuck up Mr. Strickland.
5-star general, bitch.
Yo, you don't become a 5-star general by fucking up, though.
5-star general. Yeah.
Ain't that some real shit?
Yeah.
You don't become a 5-star general with no blemishes, dog.
No. Yeah.
That shit don't exist in their records.
Yeah.
Because when they do have a blemish, they erase that shit.
Yeah. Master politicians, baby.
So
If you're a 5-star general, you're a master politician.
master politician. So, because you also influence like presidents and shit.
Yeah.
So he goes, that's the sign of a real decent man. Nothing else matters. In 36 hours, this episode will be over, and so will you. You have moved on, and you will be unborn, unmade.
Woo.
He said, so you want to get some decency, son?
What a gangster.
Love it. You want to get some decency, son?
Yeah.
Unfuck this mess.
Woo. Take that shit.
General Zod.
Yeah. Woo.
And General Zod's like nervous. He's like, Mm-hmm. So the day has come. Release day.
Release day.
October 10th. It's a Wednesday. And she like it writes on the thing, it says, for the docs, blah, blah, blah. And on her little calendar has a quote for the day. And the quote for this day is, life is but the shipwreck of our plans.
That's a good quote.
But what does that mean for our day, son?
Ooh.
Life
It's just a shipwreck.
for our plans.
So your plans ain't about to go as like you think they're gonna go. Your friends are gonna die, at least one of them.
Eliza is
Probably two, if I had to guess. The gay guy and the Russian.
She's watching him. She's looking at him, and she's crying and she's singing to him. And the spotlight hits her like in a play. Remember the scene in Philadelphia?
Yes.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Just hits her like but in a movie, And she starts singing. And she's singing in that deaf way of deaf person was singing, like, you know, how it's about how he will never know how he will never know how much she loves him.
Right.
This fish, you know? And it goes to black and white, the picture, real beautiful. And then she starts singing. She goes from singing like, what, to like extremely beautifully.
Right.
And then it turns into a magical musical, like something out of the movies that they've been watching the whole movie.
Right.
Right? And then her and the fish start dancing and singing together, like something out of the music. And like a beautiful shot of them doing an actual number. It's insane. It's awesome, dude. Her and a fucking fish do a musical number. Yeah. This movie had everything. I get why it won. It had absolutely everything. It's a fucking mermaid doing a musical number in black and white, dog.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow.
And like that old timey like
feel.
Yeah. Like where it looks really like cool. Yeah. I don't know if that's the right word for this, but we went with it.
Okay. I trust you, and I'm pretty sure you're wrong, but I still will go with it.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, no problem.
So
we'll steer this ship into the rocks together, buddy.
After that scene, like it's a long scene of that, and then it cuts back to her singing back at the table, back in her deaf voice, about how much she loves him. Beautiful, in and out, really beautiful. So at work, Eliza sobs, and Octavia Spencer sits next to her. She's like, "What's wrong, Eliza?" And Eliza's like, and she brings Octavia home. The fish is just bleeding out of the mouth now. He's just barely staying alive, shedding everywhere. And she's like, "Honey, this is not good. We got to release him. You got to release him tonight, honey." So Octavia calls the doctor for help, but he's not answering the phone. It shows him leaving his house, going to meet the top Russians.
Right.
So
top Russians.
Zod is taking more pills, and he looks like shit. He's taking all these pills. He kicks the Dr. Fleming guy out of his own car. The other boss guy kicks him out of his own car. He's like, "I'm taking it, blah, blah, blah." And he follows the doctor. All right? So the doctor's waiting in his normal spot for the Russian guys that he's been waiting all movie. And a car pulls up. And he's like, "Hello, comrades." It's quiet. "No password?" It's quiet. You see, it's not Michael Shannon. It's the Russian guys. He pulls a gun out, shoots him twice in the stomach. Right? He's like, "Oh, comrades, no." Shoots him again in the jaw. See the bullet, you know, he's like that?
Yeah.
And he's looking up and he's like, no. And then right then, bam! That Russian guy gets shot in the head. The Russian guy in the car, bam, gets shot 3 times. General Zod walks up. Walks up real slow. The guy's bleeding out their mouth, right? He grabs his glasses. I love General Zod. Grabs his glasses, puts them on him. The first words out of his mouth. "Why were you speaking Russian, Bob?" Grabs him by the hole. Drags him by his... throws him down, right?
I forgot how horrifying Del Toro can be. I said Pan's Labyrinth.
And he picked Shannon. He picked because the writing is horrible, and then he picked the scariest dude to do that. Like, because Shannon's also a big guy, so you believe that like he's dragging this nigga by a bullet hole in his mouth. Yeah, they're right. That is kind of intense, ain't it?
Just kind of. Just like just kind of intense. No, you know what? Nah, that's pretty down the middle. Yeah, dude. Holy shit. Del Toro is fucked in the head, dude.
"What's your name? Don't lie. You're dead. You took a bullet to the gut. Tell me your name." Doesn't say anything. He's with the cattle prod. Right? He goes, "Who is the strike team? I want names. You know, ranks and names." Right? And he shocks him again. The doctor's just trying to survive, you know? He pulls out his cheap candy. He goes, "You know, it's raining real hard. I love this candy." The same candy he's been eating the whole movie. And he goes, "This is it for me. A lot of people need fluffy, fancy shit. Not me. I like the cheap stuff. I like to suck on it. But when I'm real anxious, that's when I bite into it." Right? And he's got one in his mouth. He's like, "But I noticed myself, when things get hostile and I got one in my mouth, I make it last. I'm calm. I take my time with it." And he leans in. He pushes like the bullet wounds on his gut. You know, the blood. He's like, "Ah!" This guy's screaming. Names.
So much.
Ranks. And the doctor. "Ah!" Starts laughing. "No names. No thanks. Just cleaners." And Shannon's like, You know, just like when it's just like, oh, I love how it's right under your nose.
Right.
There's nothing's better than when it was just
Yeah.
right under your nose. Oh, you
Stupid
fucking idiot,
Yeah, you
racist
dumb
fuck.
fucking dumb fuck.
So he crunches his candy and he leans back, right? And then he and then he shocks him again. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So he goes, he takes off. Like kills him, he kills him.
Right.
And then
Shouldn't have given the cleaners up, but whatever.
yeah. You tell you just he thought it was over.
Right.
He thinks they released him already.
Well, either way.
Yeah.
I get I get it.
It was just like you can tell for him it was like I'm about to die.
Fuck you.
He was a fuck you.
Yeah.
You know? So
So
Octavia
Russ is dead.
Spencer
Now the
he's
gay guy
dead.
has to die.
So Octavia Spencer
Mm-hmm.
is fixing dinner for her husband. And she's like, she tells her, hey, I'm going to go out, help a friend. I'm fixing you dinner, but I'm going to go out and help a friend. I'll be back soon. As she opens the door, someone, like right as she's about to, someone knocks. She's like, huh? She opens it. Zod just walks in.
Right.
She's like, Mr. Strickland, what are you doing here? And then right then the husband goes, who that man, Zelda? What are you doing here? And he goes, where did you take him? And she's like, where'd I take what? The thing in the lab. Where is he? She's like, sir, I don't know. And then the guy gets up. He goes, oh, hold up here, fella. Coming to my house yelling. He turns around with the cattle prod. Sit down. And her bitch-ass husband goes, what a bitch, bro.
You gotta
What a
fight.
fucking, you got to fight.
You gotta fight.
That's it. This is, hey, sometimes you got to die, bro. But you got to die. It is what it is. That's one of those moments. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So he goes, she goes, if I knew something, I promise I would tell you. And then he gets real close to her and he tells her a story of the Bible about Samson. He cut his hair, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then like he tells him, as he's telling this story, he takes his 2 dead fingers and rips them off. The ones that got reattached and then he throws them on the ground, right? As he's telling this fucking story about Samson and how he brought hell down and the wrath of like hell upon people, you know? And then he preaches of will and how he has the will to bring down the fucking house too, just like Samson, you know? And then right then, she doesn't say anything still. Octavia says nothing. Her bitch ass husband goes, they're down by the river. No, it was Eliza. It was her. And he gives up her address and like all these things. And it was her and they got it at her house and blah, blah, blah. And she looks at her husband and she's like, what have you done, Bruce? And then he goes, thank you for your assistance, Mr. Fuller. And he leaves, right? And then I love this. She goes, now I gotta warn her. And then look what you did, Bruce. And then he goes, what you want me to say? Zelda, she broke the law. Well, that's what she's supposed to. And then she stops and goes, shut up, Bruce. Shut up. Because remember how I said the whole movie she was complaining about her husband, about how he don't do shit, he don't talk, he don't say nothing.
Right.
I love this line. She goes, for years, you don't say nothing, you don't talk, and now you can't shut your goddamn mouth. I thought that was
Good writing.
beautiful writing,
Good
dude.
writing. Good writing.
Because that's something you would say.
Right.
In the heat of the moment, for real, nigga, you would be like, you ain't said shit this whole
motherfucker.
marriage.
Yeah.
You motherfucker.
You
And I've let you not say shit. And the one time I need you to be that person, you're the most bitch nigga I've ever met. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, he sounds awful. He's my least favorite character.
Oh, when I saw the movie the first time, he was my least favorite character.
Yeah.
Rewatching it, I hated him even more.
Yeah.
Dude, you let your wife.
You didn't fight, which already, like, dude, you gotta get incapacitated. It's done.
It's done.
It's done.
It's done.
But then to also give up Eliza.
When your wife didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how this marriage is gonna last.
So Zelda calls Eliza. She goes, he's coming for you. He was here, and now he's coming for you. You're going to go. Take him to the sea now. Go. Eliza takes off running.
Right.
Zod pulls up to the theater, like pretty much smashes into it. Goes running up the stairs. He smashes in her place. She's not there, but he notices the bathtub's filled with algae water.
Right.
God damn it. Cut to Giles is pulling up to the dock with the van. He's like, we have to go, Eliza. We have to go. Zod is smashing her place, looking for anything. He finds a piece of paper with the date on it, October 10th, that says the docks.
Don't leave a paper trail.
So they go to the pier, right? The fish man's barely standing. He touches Giles' head. Guile touches his head. They smile at each other. He walks off, right? Mm-hmm. She walks him all the way to the end of the pier. They stop. He signs, you and me together. And she goes, no, you have to go without me. He's like, and he hugs her, and he turns to go. Giles turns around, and as he turns around, Zod, bam, knocks him out. The fish eyes get real big. Takes 2 in the stomach. Eliza turns. She takes 1. They both drop. She's gasping for air. She's staring at the fish man. They interlock fingers. Cuts back to Zod. He goes, I don't fail. To himself, I deliver. He turns. As he turns, Giles smashes him with a 2x4. Right? Blood. He falls.
Right.
Giles runs up. Okay? Oh, by the way, she died.
Eliza?
Yeah, wait, remember the interlock fingers?
Oh, yeah, she dies.
She dies.
Okay.
She dies.
Okay.
Oh, so she's dead.
Oh, wow. I didn't think she'd be the one who would make it.
Yeah, I know you did.
Yeah. Unless he uses his magic powers to bring her back to life.
So she stares. You know, he runs up on Giles runs up on Eliza, and he's holding her. You know, he's like, no. And right then, the fish man wakes up, and he stands, and he goes all to blue, and he wipes his chest, and the bullet holes go away from him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? General Zod, he notices it, and then he's trying to refill his gun up, and he walks up on him real slow. The fish man, we're just looking at him too like that. And General Zod's trying to load his gun, and he gets all the way up on him, and it's like you can tell he just quits, and he goes, "Fuck, you really are a god." Slices his throat. Blood. He drops. The police right then, and Octavia Spencer, all these cars show up, right? He bleeds out. Zod dies. The fish man stands up as Giles is holding Eliza. He's crying. He picks her up. They all look at each other. Octavia's looking. He jumps in the water with her. She starts sinking. Blood coming out of her chest, you know?
Yeah.
As she's sinking, he swims around her. He swims around her, right? He looks at the marks on her neck. He lights up blue. He kisses her. She breathes. The marks on her neck turn to gills. Remember I said there were 3 little slices?
Yeah.
So now she's, you know, the French music gets really loud, right? They kiss. If I told you about her, what would I say? That they lived happily ever after? Well, I choose to believe they did. They were made in love. Maybe that's true. But when I think of her, a poem comes to mind. I'm unable to perceive the shape of you. I find you all around me. Your presence fills my eyes with love. It humbles my heart, for you are everywhere. It sees that you cut back to them, the shot of them embracing underwater, the poster, shape of water. And that's why that movie won the Oscar.
Yeah.
Because you don't know at the end.
It's like
The Life of Pi.
Wow. Yeah. I just read The Life of Pi.
You know it's one of my favorite books and movies.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then it's also like Pan's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth as well.
It's like, man.
It's how you perceive.
Really,
it's how you chose.
How do you choose?
Because he chose
to believe the story. He chose to believe that she became
a fisherwoman who lives happily ever after.
Fisherwoman. Yeah, but she could have easily just been dead.
Yep.
Life of Pi. The kid becomes the queen, or she's dead.
How beautiful is that ending?
Not Life of Pi. Sorry, that's Pan's
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth. Yeah.
Ending is beautiful. Ending is very Del Toro.
I love that. But I love it. I mean, I love no sequel. I love
Yeah. That's not. It's open to interpretation.
what else? What other movie ended that way? Prisoners. The one with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
It ends with you don't know if the Hugh Jackman is trapped in the thing.
He hears the whistle though.
You don't know if he does.
He
stops and then the movie ends.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I like that. You can choose. You can choose to do it, but I can choose to be like, or he goes and keeps walking.
That's yeah. You can say that. He hears the whistle. Regardless. Yeah, Inception's like the same way.
But I mean, this one you see her become a fish woman.
Yeah.
So of course you can choose to believe that. It probably feels that way.
Yeah.
But you don't like it. You don't know that.
You don't know.
What do you think of the movie, buddy?
It's really good. It was
Yeah.
really good. We were making jokes. A lot of at the beginning of the episode, we were making a lot of jokes, and then I just got sucked in. I was just like, "What the fuck is gonna happen?"
Yeah, what's gonna happen? I knew you were gonna get sucked in because it doesn't go. It starts going a different way. It just kind of go.
The pace picks up.
The pace picks up,
The pace
and
picks
one thing happens after another. But once they kidnap him, because the kidnapping happens in the middle of the movie,
Right.
So you go, well, what the fuck happens in the rest of this movie?
Yeah. Yeah, the heist isn't as big as a part of the movie.
It's the middle. It happens literally an hour in.
And it's pretty
2 hour
quick.
movie.
That's pretty quick. The heist is quick.
Quick. I mean, literally all about the Russian doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, Russian Doctor was dope.
Dope, and his death's crazy.
Octavia Spencer's
Great.
husband sucks.
God, he sucks.
Yeah.
He sucks way worse than Michael Shannon.
Yeah.
At least Michael Shannon has character.
Well,
Discipline.
Michael Shannon's an interesting character. He's not an interesting character.
Yeah, Michael Shannon's a loving husband and father.
Yeah. Well, he's also like,
I don't know about loving.
yeah, I don't know. He's also like,
He does his best.
I mean, does he, or does he pretty much rape his wife?
His kids love
Regardless. Yeah, that's fair.
His wife still loves him after that.
Yeah, I mean, relationships are complicated.
Dude, they're so hard.
That's really hard. And that's The Shape of Water.